Now, on to the G20. It's a group made up of the world's richest and most powerful nations. It's reportedly agreed to grant permanent membership to the African Union. That's according to a report by Bloomberg, citing well-placed sources within the group. Now, that report says the move will give the African Union, a continental body of 55 member states, the same status as the European Union, up from its current designation of an invited international organization. However, two Indian sources told Reuters that membership for the AU will only be formalized in 2024 when Brazil takes over the helm of the group from India. There is no opposition to the decision from within the G20, according to one of the sources, speaking on condition of anonymity, citing government rules.
Well, the news agencies are reporting this, although we still have to wait for the Leaders' Summit to happen, because you know G20 is such a meeting that there are other items on the agenda, but something else comes out. So definitely 9th will be a very important day as far as the African Union's membership is concerned. Yes, it is being talked about. India, since July this year, has been pitching for it very strongly among the G20 leadership, and in all the ministerial groups meetings, India has been proposing this. Even during the B20, this came up for discussion. So definitely there is a consensus among the members of G20 to make African Union a member, but it will only happen once all the leaders actually sit down on a table. The agendas will be in front of them. It is high on agenda, it is top on agenda, but final confirmation regarding this or the materialization of this agenda item will be only possible on the 9th. But till then, yes, this seems to be one of the major items on the agenda, and the argument being given by India is that India has been very vocal about the global south. India wants the voice of the global south to be heard on the international platform, and the argument is that all the issues that are discussed among these nations are issues which are also impacting Africa, and it is important to address and take the stakeholders, the African nations, on table so that the solutions are global solutions to tackle the global issues that the world is facing as of now. Well, this has been something which a lot of countries have agreed to, and as I just mentioned, it is not just important for the African nations but also important for the world, because the kind of problems that the world is facing, whether it is climate change, whether it is to talk about energy transition, unless the African nations are taken along globally, it won't really be a final solution for these problems. And the African nations, of course, will now, if they become a member, they will be able to access external finance, whether it is for climate change adaptation, for energy transition, and are also getting access to new technologies. And of course, for the world, it is important because African nations are one of the fastest growing nations, and knowing that the African population is young, and it is important that these markets have to be tapped. According to the B20 final outcome, they were of course agreeable that these markets should be tapped, but at the same time there is a vision of the leaders that this part of the world also should join, and the world should move together to handle the problems that we are facing today.